Walk through the same city and you can feel it. One economy looks comfortable and the other looks exhausted. On paper, it is one market. In practice, it behaves like two different countries sharing a zip code. One group is still buying convenience, upgrades, and time. The other is buying delay, stress, and survival. That is the two-tiered economy. And no, it is not some distant theory. It is already visible in airports, housing, banking, healthcare, food, and even customer service. When headlines say the consumer is strong, the first question should be, which consumer? Because lately, strong averages have been hiding a very uneven reality underneath. A lot of recent growth has been carried by households that still have money, assets, and room to spend. Meanwhile, a huge part of the public is dealing with high rent, higher rates, and less breathing room every month. So the economy can look resilient from far away and feel brutal up close. Companies notice this split fast. They always do. And once businesses see where the money still flows, they start building more aggressively for that lane. That changes what gets improved, what gets cut, and who gets treated like the future. The first sign is space. Better doors, calmer rooms, and nicer environments start clustering around higher spending. The second sign is time. Some people stand in line and others glide past it. The third sign is quality. The premium version gets richer while the basic version gets thinner and meaner. Look at airports. One traveler gets cramped seats and delays, while another gets lounge access and breathing room. Look at hotels. One guest gets the standard transaction, while another gets upgrades, attention, and soft lighting. Look at restaurants. One table is rushed and another is remembered. Look at apps and subscriptions. Even digital life now comes in layers of speed, support, and convenience. In many industries, the middle is no longer the hero product. It is the squeeze zone. Budget options still exist, of course, but many of them feel more stripped down than they used to. At the same time, premium options keep multiplying. So this video is about a simple question. What happens when one economy becomes two experiences?
Start with the upper lane. This is the side that still has margin. These households are not spending from paycheck stress alone. They are often spending from assets, buffers, and confidence. When markets rise or home values stay high, their spending power gets reinforced. A stock dip might irritate them. A surprise car repair is not likely to break them. That difference matters because stability changes the price of everything. People with buffers can buy convenience instead of chaos. They can pay for faster shipping, better service, and less wasted time. They can choose quality that lasts instead of cheap replacements that fail. They can buy in bulk when prices are good. They can pay annual fees if those fees unlock better perks. They can absorb deposits, deductibles, and temporary setbacks without falling apart. This is where money stops being just money. It becomes shock absorption. And once you have shock absorption, companies start treating you as a more attractive customer. You get better support because you are easier to keep and easier to monetize. You also get better financing because lenders love calm-looking borrowers. People talk about high prices a lot. They talk less about how the right profile can soften those prices. In a two-tiered economy, the upper lane buys not just better things, but better systems. And better systems quietly save money over time. They avoid late fees because they have buffers. They avoid expensive credit because they qualify for cheaper credit. They often live closer to good services, safer streets, and better options. So the upper lane is not just richer, it is more efficient by design. That efficiency is part of why affluent consumers keep driving so much visible demand. And that demand encourages companies to keep polishing the premium lane first.
Now look at the lower lane. Here the math feels harder even when the choices look small. A small shortage can trigger a large problem. If you do not have a cushion, every surprise is more expensive than it should be. The car repair hurts more. The doctor visit gets delayed. The broken appliance becomes a crisis. The cheap pair of shoes wears out faster, so the cheaper choice becomes the expensive choice. The small grocery trip costs more per item than the large planned one. Not having a reliable car can mean paying in time. Having an unreliable car can mean paying in repairs. Bad credit turns borrowing into a penalty box. A missed payment does not just sting once, it can reshape the next offer too. Need flexibility? The system often sells it back to you at a premium. That is one of the darkest jokes in modern consumer life. The people with the least margin often pay the most for short-term relief. Housing shows the split clearly too. A strong household may choose among options. A weak household often pays to apply, pays to move, and pays to prove itself. Deposits, screening fees, and unstable leases all hit harder when cash is already tight. Insurance can also punish weaker positions. So can banking, so can healthcare, so can childcare and scheduling. And then comes the time tax, which may be the most invisible cost of all. Poorer households often spend more time solving basic problems because they cannot simply pay them away. That means more phone calls, more bus rides, more waiting rooms, and more administrative friction. The middle class is not outside this story. It often sits in the most frustrating seat of all. Too well off for help, too stretched for comfort, and too exposed to rising costs.
That is why so many people feel like the world got more expensive without getting better. And that feeling is not imaginary. It is structural. So why does the split keep growing? Because companies optimize around profitable demand. If high earners keep spending, the business case for premiumization gets stronger. Premiumization sounds elegant. Translation: the best version gets better, and the basic version gets thinner. You can see it in airlines selling comfort layer by layer. You can see it in hotels selling treatment layer by layer. You can see it in banking, where relationship value often decides how human the system feels. You can even see it in software, where speed, support, and convenience are packaged by price. From a narrow business perspective, this logic is not irrational. Higher-income customers are often more stable, less price-sensitive, and more profitable over time. They buy add-ons, stay loyal, and usually have less financial drama attached to every transaction. But from a social perspective, the result is much harsher. Ordinary life starts to feel more crowded, slower, and more conditional. The headline economy may look healthy, while millions of households feel one bad month away from trouble. That is why the two-tier economy confuses people. Growth and anxiety can exist at the same time. To be fair, premium products are not automatically evil. Better service, smarter design, and innovation are real things. People will always pay for them. The problem starts when basic dignity begins to feel like a premium upgrade. A healthy economy should not turn normal comfort into a luxury identity. So when you see packed lounges, booming premium tiers, and stressed households below, that is not a contradiction. It is one system sorting people by purchasing power and then reflecting that sorting back into daily life. The final truth is simple. We do not just have one economy with different incomes. We have different versions of reality. The two-tier economy is already here, and once you see it, you start noticing it everywhere.